Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
All right. Shalom, shalom, everybody. I am here now, and I'm happy to be here because we had a little technical difficulties with our camera. So I will just have to fix that next time. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't like the camera moving all over the place. Every time I was moving, the camera was moving, and that's what was going on. So I just wasn't used to this, this setup. So next time, I'm going to try to get with AC and see, what can we do? Because that thing was just moving all over the place. And I'm like, hold up, what's going on? I'm old school. So, anyway, though, man, shalom, everybody out there. We're finally on. Okay, we're finally on. All praises be to the Most High. We're going to jump right into it. Okay, and the lesson title today is Staying Strong and Healthy After 40. I told you guys last week that we would go into that, staying strong and healthy after 40. And the reason you may say, listen, one thing is, I'm going to say this. On GOCC Media, we like to go into different topics. We don't just like to just do biblical lessons that we're just doing all week. So sometimes we have to, outside of the Bible, I mean, everything is cohesive with the Bible, but we do need to manifest what's in our spiritual mind in the flesh. We need to take care of this temple. You understand? We have to use carnal things. This flesh, this body. The flesh is weak. And we understand that the spirit is strong. But so we have to come on here with these lessons, because how are you guys going to be able to endure to the end if you are not actually physically able? Okay, anybody can feel good. Anybody can feel good in their minds. You get what I'm saying? But you guys actually have to be healthy to make it through. And so I thought that growing up since a little child, seeing all types of people, traveling the world, understanding how culture is in other societies, we just assume that everybody should already know something. But the reality is, in captivity, you wouldn't know everything. And the thing is, a lot of us don't know that a lot of influencers that are online, a lot of these people are paid influencers. Okay, and guess who's paying them? Listen, you already know who's paying them. Okay, the Revelation 29ers. The Revelation 29ers are paying them. So we're going to talk about all that tonight. And just show people like you can actually do this, because I know people are tirelessly trying to overwork themselves, overworking their mind, their bodies, and you understand, trying to figure this thing out. Why am I working out and I'm not seeing results? Well, guess what? You're talking to a person who does not like to do anything without seeing results. I don't like to do any. Listen, if it don't make money, it don't make sense. And when I mean money, I don't mean physical money. I mean, you understand. I mean money on any level. If you're not going to be successful at whatever you're doing, if you're not going to get the mastery like the scripture says, it doesn't make sense. God blessed you to be beautiful, and I'm here to help you tonight, those of you who have ears to hear, to continue to be beautiful in the way that God intended. Yes, the flesh is weak, but you have some people who just give up. Oh, I can't do it. I need to get surgery. Oh, I need to do this and do that. Listen, they are going to run you crazy like a mouse in a rat race, buying all of their machines, doing this, doing that, buying thousands of supplements you don't need. Let me tell you, buying food that's not healthy for you. You need to understand everything that you need. And a lot of this starts to happen when you're over 35. That's just the reality of it. So we're going to talk about it tonight. But first, let me make some quick announcements really quick, if you guys don't mind. Once again, I'm Elder Ariaga Barr. You're tuned into GOCC Media. GOCC stands for the Gathering of Christ Church. Our main channel is A Gathering 144. I was just making sure this thing ain't moving. I was just like, you know, our main channel is A Gathering 144. And those lessons come on that channel on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And then on Sunday, we transition over to our beautiful Hebrew and Bible Academy. If you can take a look at the screen really quick, we transition over here to our Hebrew and Bible Academy, guys. All right. And if you want to join, all you have to do is go to historytimes.org. If this is your first time watching or you've never been in it, once again, as our elder always says, you are missing out. Make sure as you come in, if you don't mind, hitting the like button so that other people can get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that they are just not going to get in many other channels in this earth. And I have to speak for ourselves, the wisdom that the Most High gives us. But I know there's very few people who is going to tell you the actual truth and be genuine about it, okay? So, yes, as you look here really quick, we have a Hebrew and Bible Academy on Sundays. Now, this one's not on A Gathering 144. You have to come to historytimes.org. It does cost because it helps to you understand, it helps our work. It helps to continue to finish this work in these last days because, like I said, we just can never, any church out there who's genuinely doing the work of the Most High, they would never be able to, I mean, you can never get enough help. Like Christ said, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Now, what's good in store for you guys is that, okay, who's probably new to hearing this, we're not about taking the people's money and living fat off of it. Okay, we're here to educate. We're here to spread the gospel. We're here to save lives, and that's what we've been doing. The reason I can prove that is because I am one person who started with this church in the beginning, and it was only a few people, and it's thousands upon thousands of people that there would not be a building. We would need one of these mega churches to fit all of our people. And you're talking about a Passover. I'm not just talking about a service. We have so many people now. We don't even have a building. We're outgrowing this place. And guess what? Even though we're outgrowing this place, that still is going to be a remnant compared to the billions of people in this world. Okay, so this is something that catches you up to speed when it comes to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this Bible. So many people I hear every day thinking that the Bible is a white man's book and all of this stuff. No. Man, people are just so lost out there. And if you just join this, it's just going to catch you up. And guess what? Muzzle not the ox that treaded the corn. So the time that people are putting in, the beautiful people that are putting in to help bring this together, it's a blessing, and we're very appreciative and thankful for you guys donating. You understand your spot in this academy. $150 a month. You're not going to go into debt. You're not going to go into debt at all. You're actually going to get out of spiritual debt. You if it's your choice to learn and you bring yourself to learn and be weaned from the milk, you will actually learn how to get out of spiritual debt, out of sin, getting burdens off of your shoulders and your back. Okay? And these are some of the lessons here really quick. The theme, first of all, is beyond 2025. Hope after Armageddon. Is there hope? Of course there's hope. We're confident. We're not afraid. We're not teaching doom and gloom. Shalom, Elder Dale. We're not teaching doom and gloom. We're really confident in why our Lord and Savior, Yeshua is his name, died for our sins. And that his ways and his commandments, his laws, his prophecies will get us through these times with his holy angels. Okay? Some of the lessons are why understanding Armageddon's purpose is key to hope. Dispelling common misconceptions about total annihilation. Revelations 21 and 22. God's explicit promise of a new heaven and earth. The absence of tears and pain and death. Literal promise. What daily life could look like in a perfectly restored world. The promise of harmony, abundance, and direct contact with the Most High God. Okay? So, it is a 3-month online Hebrew and Bible and history course. You learn Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. Guys, there's research out there that this Yiddish they're speaking out there, it was formed from someone in Russia. And I'm just telling you the truth. There's research out there on this already. So what people are speaking, unfortunately, in Israel is not real Hebrew. It's some made up language from some Edomite somewhere. It's not the original tongue. So if you want to learn the original tongue and get as close to possible as speaking it, because this language have not been spoken in thousands of years. This thing they speaking in 1948 is off. Okay? That's off. And like we were talking about today, this thing about Israel being in Africa is off. But it's all good. All right? People can believe what they want to believe. But if you want to learn something, go to historytimes.org. Come and enroll. Okay? We would love to teach you there with our elders, Elder Lawyer, Elder Ricard, Elder Shapat, and various guests that come in who give information, who are experts in different areas of health, fitness, doctors, and all this, entertainment, and all that, okay? Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right? So I just wanted to put that out there. And I have one more announcement. The I Am Roll Academy, all right? Gathering of Christ Church, I Am Roll Academy, all right? Grounded in faith, growing in truth, excelling in learning. I Am Roll Academy is a free faith-based online homeschool program for students in grades 1 through 12. Children are rooted in the world, guided by the teachings of Christ, and supported in both their spiritual walk and academic journey. We're excited to offer this program to all GOCC family members worldwide. Now, the reason I came on here because it has been a blessing, okay? A blessing and very overwhelming in a good way. But with that being said, like I said earlier, because the world is going the way that it's going with these schools, and you understand, and what do I mean by these schools? Things are changing every day, guys, when it comes to how our children are being taught. And our church is trying their best to change this situation by teaching them their true history, law, statutes, and commandments, things that are of necessity in life, self-sufficiency, and much more. But it cannot be done without the help of a nation of true believers in Christ. So if you're financially fit and able, you understand, and you want to continually donate to the Gathering of Christ Church for I Am Royal, it will be very, very appreciative. Okay, so, hey, it's free, but I'm going to tell you, it's very overwhelming, our elder said, in a good way, because the children are doing well, so amazing, but it cannot be done. Nothing can be done without donations. We're not a bank. Think money does not grow on trees. There's so much things that has to happen. So if our church does not have the things that our people have been already scammed out of their pockets with, unfortunately, this is just the way the world works. Okay, with finances, some green piece of paper with makeup on it and some paint is how this world functions. Okay, so if you want to donate, he put the link. Elder Dale put the link in the chat. gatheringofchristchurch.org/donate, and you can put in there for I Am Royal Academy. If we can get continual support, it would be a blessing for these children. Okay, so we only can do what we can. We can build the bridge, but you need some pillars to sometimes help to keep it up. Okay, so sometimes things may start one way, and then it's beautiful. It's nothing negative about it. What I'm saying is, let's try to get this thing off the ground and keep these kids in there so that they can continue to do what the Most High has intended for them to do. Okay, so because we understand how in the next few years where this thing is going. All right, so we're going to start with our lesson. Once again, you can donate at gatheringofchrist.org/donate. All right. So we're going to start here. All right. You know I'm drinking something healthy there. I got a little apple vinegar in there with a little lime. You understand. Always practicing what I preach since I've known myself. I beat myself up if I don't do that. That's who I am. I have to walk it like I talk it. So, all right, with that being said, let's motivate the people with how to get fit over 40, live healthy over 40, whatever you want to. The reason we say over 40 is because this is when it usually starts. All right. Let me get my notes here really quick. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in today. Let me get my notes really quick. So after 40, people think that they're failing because they lost discipline. But that's not true in every case. So what changed? Hormones, minerals, and activity a lot of times, because they have us working behind desks. We have to pay the bills. But remember when you were a child, we were always running around and we were always moving. As you get older, the body wants to move less. Not that it should move less, but I'm just telling you. As in nature, the body's just it's preparing itself to rest overall. But if you want it to continue to live, you have to continue to give it and do things, maybe not the same exact way, but being wise about everything you do going forth after 40. Man and woman, not only men. This show tonight is about men and women. And I see so many people working so hard. And I'm going to tell you, I got everybody working out. I see everybody on social media working out with their couples and their husbands and single women and men. And this is a good thing. This is beautiful. But what I don't want is people spinning their wheels. Okay, I don't want people spinning their wheels if they're actually trying to accomplish a goal. Some people don't think it's that serious. Some people think you just live a life and you just get old and, oh man, this is what happens when you get old. Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's a lie. People have been speaking their opinions. Okay, and guess what? I'm speaking spiritual, and I'm also speaking in an environment where the diet is not the same as the ancient diet. The lifestyle, the ways are not the same. So even the more we have to work hard to actually be able to endure to the end, like Christ said. Okay. So once again, minerals, hormones, metabolism, gut health, and stress. Okay. And most people are taking vitamins that never turn on. And I own a supplement company. You guys know. I sell minerals. I sell homestead things on lionshomestead.com. I sell supplements worldwide. I ship worldwide. And some people, sometimes because they lack discipline or they don't know what to do or they're lazy or they just don't know what to do, they will be in a circle or they will quit and give up. Well, I took this didn't work. Well, guess what? Wisdom is above it all. Meaning, if you don't have knowledge, you will fail. And we're all failing in some way, some capacity when it comes to economics, when it comes to our body, when it comes to whatever, due to lack of knowledge. We're failing as a nation spiritually because we've fallen away from our God. So we have to come back to the knowledge of that first, who we are, who our God is. And then on a low level, try to get rid of some of this stress and trauma, trying to make sure our family finances okay. These are the curses that the Most High said we would go through in the book of Deuteronomy. The woman would lose her girdle or her tight, small waist, right? Look at it. We're going through all of these things. The air is poisoned, the water. I mean, some water I bought the other day, and I buy water in a glass bottle. It was like a green spring water, Mountain Valley or something like that. I don't know what it's called. Has like green, red, and white writing on it. I saw that they had something in that. Even the water, you can't even get good water even when it's in glass now. People are hustling out of their mind. At this point, I'm like, okay, I make me some soul water, whatever people want to call it, with minerals in it. I might as well just go back to buying me some distilled water. You understand? And I have water at home. I have reverse osmosis. But I mean, when I'm out and about and I just want some water, I might just have to go back to distilled water because everybody's scamming everybody. Keep my little drops in the car, pop them in there, and just keep it moving. Because if you don't have clean water, that's a whole nother thing. Water is life. Blood is life. Your blood needs water to move. So when you got the water poisoned, oh man, I can't stop the show for the site if you but I'm gonna tell you, it's KIIY supplements.com, KIIY supplements.com, and then my sister site is lionshomestead.com. So if you guys want to ask any other questions, it's going to have to be at the end of the show because I just cannot read the chat. I apologize. All right. So what changes after 40s? Let's talk about it. After I'm going to get a scripture and wisdom about this. 5 shifts nobody explains. You're talking about a person who has been working out my whole life playing sports, major injuries that I've overcame through exercise rehabilitation, diet supplementation, okay, and wisdom from men who are bodybuilders, whether they were on steroids or not, professional bodybuilders. I know in real life professional bodybuilders, and I'm not talking about just people who you see at the gym. I've met them overseas. I've spoken to them online, and I've gotten wisdom from people who have done this in person and all that. I've been around this for many years, okay? And I can shout out to some doctors on here who I will shout out to today who do this, male and female doctors. Okay, so we'll give you some of those links and information there, those sources as well. So you have hormone shift. That's number 1. Metabolism slows down after 40. I don't care who you think you are. It's going to do it. I mean, very rare does it do it. If you're just like always been very thin. We're not here to talk about the rare people. With just those who it just have missed. Okay? You better thank the Father. But it's very rare. You probably was a whole 2-pick your whole life, and then when your metabolism finally slowed down, you just got the perfect body. Man and woman. Stress tolerance drops. We're talking about cortisol. Mineral reserves decline. Okay? Your body will not be able to just hold on to these minerals any longer. So sometimes people promote drinking more water. It's not about drinking more water. We're going to talk about it tonight. It's about drinking water, but it's about drinking quality water and not over drinking it so you don't flush out minerals. Okay? And when you are drinking water, we're talking about drinking water that actually has electrolytes. People push, and I'm not pushing the Yaki Awaken things, because sometimes you'll hear them say, don't drink any water. Don't take a bath and all these other things. I don't really get into these things, but I'm going to tell you, drinking water, spring water that has minerals, trace minerals, and electrolytes is very, very important. If not, you're just flushing things out of your body if you're not putting those minerals back in. Now, you can drink distilled water if you're putting minerals in your body, believe it or not. There's studies on this stuff. But if you're over drinking, like you're trying to drink this gallon a day thing, you're just flushing stuff out. Okay? You're not going to, now, does it help if you have a method to it? Does it help to burn fat and things like this? Of course. But long term with things like that, it's just not necessary. You're talking to an elite athlete right here. I'm an elite athlete, guys. I've done above average lifts, deadlifts, squats, all that. Okay? But after you get over 40, you are not worrying about necessarily how much you lift. You're trying to live in longevity of health. You're not trying to be necessarily swole anymore and all of these things in a lot of cases, because one thing you want to have is gut health. Gut health surpasses all of the rest of these things. And I've already talked to a lot of guys that the biggest guy on the battlefield is the easiest target. He's the easiest to take out. He has a purpose, but a bunch of skinny guys on the battlefield, he's that guy is going very easy. He gonna knock a few of them down, but he's just not gonna last. He's not quick enough. That's just the reality of it. Okay, if you're not a giant with superior strength or some type of being, unfortunately, you're just too big of a target. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean it's bad to be big. It has a purpose, but you're going to have to learn how to use that thing. Okay? So once again, vitamin activation becomes very inefficient after 40. Okay, so don't forget, just because you guys, I take my vitamins every day, what's going on? That doesn't mean your body is using it. That does not mean that your body is using it, okay? So we're going to go into that in a second really quick. But first, I do want to get Wisdom of Solomon really quick. Let's get some wisdom here. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1. Because first, we must make sure that we have it all together as much as possible. We're working on our spiritual side first. Okay? The spirit is manifested in the flesh. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart. When it's talking about heart, it's talking about your mind. And in simplicity of heart, seek him. Okay? Don't get too deep with this thing. Everybody wants to be so deep. Me and your Rock were just laughing about that last night on social media. I mean, people try to get so deep with everything. I mean, the Bible tells us that keep the simplicity in Christ. The Most High fears that we get beguiled like Eve was with the devil's craftiness, that we just keep the simplicity in Christ, all right? Stop trying to be too deep with everything. The conscious community is done on the East Coast. It's done. We got people who we done woke up in the truth, and hopefully they can wake up to those brothers in New York and all of these boroughs over there, to wake some of these brothers up from this stupidity. To wash trying to be deep of everything. Keep the simplicity in Christ. You can't be deeper than the prophets in Christ. They already did all the deep stuff for us. We just need to follow the program. Okay? So, anyway, For he will be found of them that tempt him not. Talking about not tempting the Most High. We're not talking about wisdom right now. Wisdom comes from the Most High. And showeth himself unto such as does not distrust him. For froward thoughts separate from God, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. This has something also to do with being sick, okay, being unhealthy too long. For example, if you have a home, a building, a temple, if you don't keep it clean, if you don't keep it tidy, neat, what happens in that home? Huh? The Most High created things, possums, raccoons, rats, roaches, the plague, spiders. He created these things so that once a place is empty too long or full of trash, clutter, where it cannot function or operate, like a squatter's house or something, where it's just stuff. It's stuff so many places a person can walk in there and get claustrophobic. What happens is the nature and the programming of these critters and these creatures will come and invade this type of place. They will try to invade a clean place, let alone a dirty place that you're just giving them a home in. It's going to be dewy, dampy. And if a person is comfortable sleeping in a place like this, dwelling in a place like this, they can't get mad at the fact that they have the plague coming in there. Think about that. In the hood, people don't have a lot of money, or discipline, or they're living a certain lifestyle where they were not taught to live holy. Roaches can be in one person's household, crawl to the next person's household. Whether their intentions were good or not, doesn't matter. The same thing with this body, guys. So people try to think that every time some truth is coming out, that people are fat shaming, obese shaming. No. You can do what you want to do. Okay, and then people will come on social media and try to think that the elders are doing this and that. No, that's not the case. Gluttony was a sin always. Fornication was a sin always. Uncleanliness is a sin. On whatever level you want to come by. Does that mean people are not sweet who have made mistakes? Does that mean people who are not sweet, still good people, because they didn't know these things? Of course not. That's why we're giving them the knowledge and being patient and not judging our people. Christ didn't come to judge the people yet. He came as a physician to heal the sick. You see that? So when I walk around, I can have a counsel with someone, and guess what? In the church, and I don't think about it as soon as they leave the room. I'm not here to judge them. There's no sin that's uncommon to man. That's why I always tell people, I'm not... people will come to me, I thought you was thinking about... Listen, I'm not thinking about you like that. Not on that level. I'm here to pray for you. That's what an elder or a bishop does. With your integrity kept. So you have to give the elders the benefit of the doubt. That you trusted them to come to them, anoint you, because if you don't have the faith in Christ in them, you won't be healed anyway. If you look with an evil eye, you won't be healed anyway. Okay, so we're just putting that out there. Okay? This is for you in your journey, your walk with the Most High. After this lesson, whatever I speak, it's supposed to fall on the ears it was supposed to fall on. And guess what? Even with that is a process and a transition for each person. And each person is going to have different issues of hormone issues, and that they're still going to be on their journey to find out. So I thought that I would come on here tonight to try to, as much as I can, paint a broad brush, but at the same time go into some details a little bit to actually still try to help simultaneously, if I can. Okay, so I'm just putting that out there really quick. Let's continue with this scripture here. For the Holy Spirit of discipline As a matter of fact, let's jump to 4. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter. Some people think because they were baptized that wisdom is just raining down upon them. It came on you. It's your job to work to open the treasure chest and see what's in the treasure chest. It's your job when you find what's in the treasure chest to see how to actually use it and what's the purpose of that inside of the treasure chest. See, wisdom, you must seek wisdom. Your angel of the presence every day is to protect you. That's his job. It's to tell you not to do this or that. The Holy Spirit is there to comfort you, and it's the second phase to keep you out of trouble. But when you want wisdom and success and knowledge, you have to work for that. You have to work for that. I'm just letting you guys know. 1 second. You actually have to work for that. One moment. Let me see here. I think I have that. 1 second. Ecclesiasticus 1:19. I want to go there really quick, actually. Let me get that. Ecclesiasticus 1:19. And then I'll come back to Wisdom of Solomon. I need to get that really quick. Then we're going to dive in. Check this out. That way people actually understand that wisdom is just not something that you're just getting and you're wondering why you're still suffering. Don't blame it on wisdom. Blame it on your lack of discipline, your lack of perseverance and diligence. Let's read it. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's start at, let's see here. People think they're just following the commandments. That's one part of wisdom. Wisdom has levels, okay? 17 says, she filleth all their house with things desirable, and the garners with her increase. The fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish. You see that? So if wisdom is involved with making peace, the peace is a part of being a peacemaker. That means you're not stressing because you have a clear conscience. You're hanging around the right people. You're walking about with peace of the gospel and perfect health to flourish. She will allow your health to flourish, but it's not magic, guys. Because you're walking about in the commandments, eating a Levitical diet, treating others well. If you don't treat others well, what happens by default? You have anxiety and stress. So the scriptures will, let me tell you, it's all in the scriptures. You just have to read it. Right? And one would study, what should I do to keep my health on point, to continue to be able to obtain wisdom? Both which are gifts of the Most High God, and it enlargeth their rejoicing that love him. Wisdom raineth down skill and knowledge of understanding. Okay? So like I told the people in Houston, you hear people talking about, man, I don't understand, I overstand. Listen, man. Wisdom is understanding. So however you thinking, just don't get her then. We're going to understand wisdom. We're going to understand. We're going to stand under the heavens and let her rain it down upon us. Okay? So you can't overstand wisdom because you ain't in the heavens. All right? Get that in your mind. So, and exalted them to honor that hold her fast. How could you hate on someone who's practicing something, doing something, and excelling at it? How could you do that? These people are working hard. And these are people, there's even a level outside of being baptized, which we should all be, that wisdom is on the people in general that the Most High created, to have skills to create the earth. You can't hate that. Even the knowledge that people got from fallen angels, those fallen angels were people that were angels or beings that the Most High created. It still goes back to him. And he gave them the foolishness. So the wisdom that mankind is getting from them, that wisdom came from him. Okay? So what we're reading here is a person has to work and study tirelessly and be serious about it to gain such wisdom. So if a lot of people, since we're talking about what to do over 40 and how to live when it comes to health, there's so much vast information out there. Information is one thing, but the way to actually use the information and understand it is a whole nother thing. You can read about moringa powder and you can tell the world, moringa powder does this and does that. But then here comes a pregnant woman and you tell her to take moringa, and before you know it, she has a miscarriage. Because you didn't know that moringa, hibiscus, raspberry leaf does this. But you're telling people, get on the herbs because you're a Hebrew and you just read the basic stuff. You have to have wisdom and knowledge to understand the whole thing before you open your mouth. Okay? So for example, what you see on my site on Lions Homestead, what you see on Key Supplements, the research have already been done, lived for years, many years. Okay? Not 2 years, not 3 years, not 5 years, over a decade. Okay? This is not to brag. This is a fool would just throw something out there because he start reading up on it in a week, and all of a sudden he or she becomes a teacher of it because he or she found out they were a Hebrew and we should be on the herbs all of a sudden. No. No. That's how you get yourself hurt or somebody else hurt. Okay? So once again, wisdom rained down skill and knowledge of understanding and exalted them. She exalts them. When people try to put themselves up, they're self-exalting. Self-proclaimed wise. Fools. Okay? All right? They have a good zeal. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to throw all this other stuff away and learn again. Okay? So, and exalt them to honor that hold her fast. So we want to put that there. She, we just read, is a spirit. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon here. She's a spirit of discipline. Let's go to verse 5 really quick. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness come in. So since you want to be a hater, since you want to be jealous, since you want to be envious, since you want to be lazy, since you want to be slothful, filthy, dirty, whatever the case may be, any sort of uncleanliness or sin, she has to remove herself from you and let foul spirits take over you. Somebody can tell you to do something right, you jump, and pride jumps into you, and the Holy Spirit has to flee from you for a second until you drop your pride. They're just trying to help you. How are you going to be mad at somebody trying to help you? No man can do this alone. That's why Christ said, a body of people, one mind and one body. Okay? So I wanted to bring that out really quick, but let's talk about really quick vitamins, because a lot of people have a misconception that I'm taking my vitamins and I don't know, like what's going on. I'm here to help you tonight. If you would just listen. Let me tell you, over 40, it gets a little harder, but if you follow that path, it gets easier. A lot of you have them. You may think that, and especially here in Babylon, you may think that you just eating vegetables and like eating less. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm gonna tell you that. But in America, with the Western world diet, that's not a good thing. I'm sorry to tell you guys that. I'm sorry to tell you. I hate to bust your bubble. You're not living in the ancient world with an ancient diet, and you would assume that we were not eating meat. You would assume that. People decided to do that, and some people they have a beautiful face, like I said. But if they don't truly understand how to get in those amino acids, they suffer with hormone issues and all types of things. I'm telling you the facts. You might find one or two people on some channel who's telling you this and that, but they're not telling you what's truly going on. You may find some person who's lifting weights. He's not telling you his elbows are hurting and the pain that he's in. This is what these nowadays influencers are telling people. They just saying anything to make money. I remember, I think that your rock sent me someone the other day, and some guy was talking about the cow patties used to disappear. What the hell are you talking about? That's how we had dung hills. If the cow patties disappeared, we wouldn't have dung hills, meaning piles of crap or compost. So people get on there like experts and just say anything, and because he's white and because he might have a little money or a show or a podcast, people believe it. He's saying the critters, the worms and the arthropods would eat it up and it would just disappear. Hey, because people are taking ivermectin. Oh, I see what agenda you're trying to push. You're mad the fact that people have found something to use to help to get certain things out of them or their livestock, and you guys can't control it. So now you're blaming it, right? You're blaming it. So be careful with false information out there. Let's talk about it really quick. How vitamins actually come on. I wanted to educate you guys on that tonight, and I'll give you an example of what I do after. And I'm always formulating something new for the people. So in the near future, I am working on something to help people when it comes to what we're talking about tonight, make it very simple for them if it be God's will. And you'll see, okay, in the near future what I'm talking about, okay, when it comes to our supplement site and things like that. We're always trying to improve as a company should do. Yeah. So we have God is blessing us to help the people in so many ways. So, anyway, vitamins require, I need you guys to understand this really quick. I need you guys to understand this. Vitamins require minerals to activate, guys, okay? Minerals are more important than vitamins. You need both, but vitamins require minerals to activate. You need, and a lot of times with vitamins, as a matter of fact, we'll go into that next. Let's give you an example really quick. Fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, require what? Fat. And because our people have our priorities wrong, we think that we need to be keeping up with the Joneses. Let me tell you, the most important thing is what Christ said, being content. Everybody wants the biggest, nicest house. And now we're getting ready to see a lot of these things, if we can't afford them, where it's going to put us. A lot of people will be homeless if they don't realize what Christ was saying. Food, shelter, raiment. Shelter meaning it don't have to be the biggest house. The biggest house is taking money out of your pockets to be able to get a clean diet. If you're overspending in some house you don't need, let me tell you, I've lived in some huge houses in Egypt. I mean, I had a house. I told them, guys, the apartments in Egypt are huge. Before I left, I was living in New Cairo. Guys, you can fit at least 100 people in our living rooms when we were living in New Cairo. Me and a few other brothers, that's just how they love family over there. And every house would be like that. And like, it would be like a villa with like 5 different apartments attached. And guys, you can fit 100 people in your living room. The bedroom sizes in America, especially like on the East Coast, Lord have mercy, you can, the room is bigger than somebody's apartment in New York that somebody paid $3,000 for. So what I'm saying is, we didn't need that. The floor was so big, we had to push the floor with a push broom. It was too much. Didn't need. I was like, man, I don't even need all of this. Sometimes people want to live just because they want to tell people what they have and say what they have. But guess what I learned in life through experience? My diet is more important than extra space I don't need. One, I didn't really like a lot of visitors too much like that. So ain't nobody finna be up in this joint. It's going to be me cleaning. I really don't want no maids popping around here because I don't trust people like that. So I got all this room. I don't need all of this room. It's cool to say you have it, but for me, I'm about purpose. I want to eat good and just have enough room, maybe for some company to spend the night or something like that. Who I love, family. All this extra stuff is cool, but I don't need it. I'd rather spend extra money on my diet to make sure I'm living to do the Most High's work. And that's what things are coming down to. Because, guys, you need to learn how to grow this food on a serious level. Or you're going to have to spend the money to get quality food and supplementation. If not, you're going to just be walking around here empty. I'm just telling you the truth. You got single women living in giant houses. It's like, what for? To say you was a successful black woman? Ain't no man up in that joint to protect you when somebody run up in it. I just watched a video where two brothers, it's all over the internet now, ran up. They pretended to be UPS workers and ran up in somebody's house or apartment. And, it was bad, man. And they just, they end up taking out 3 lives. We really need to see what Christ was talking about. Food, shelter, and raiment, be there with content. It's going to manifest very soon, especially for people who probably have no clue of what investments mean, understand investments and where the market is going when it comes to these digital assets and things like that, and how they're printing money and going to be washing it in blockchain. And guys, it's so much things going on. We can't keep up with it. But if we can keep life simple, keep the simplicity in Christ, we're going to be okay, because there's a new world coming for us. But we have to be healthy enough to make it through it. Let's continue. So once again, vitamins require minerals to activate. Fat-soluble vitamins. You have water-soluble. You have fat-soluble vitamins, right? Okay. Poor digestion, poor activation. Most people, most women, and this is not nothing against anybody. I'm telling you, as a person of health who's teaching health, to educate people. The woman pouch at the bottom. Most people or men don't like the little pouch at the bottom where you're putting that belt on and it just don't fit quite right. This is a hormone belly because the gut is lacking, either through high candida or either through lack of iodine, lack of exercise. It can be a number of things. It could be high glyphosate inside of your gut from eating the wrong types of foods from the grocery store. A lot of people don't know they got glyphosate in a lot of things, and they even spray organic things. Not all organic things, but they do spray some organic things. Okay, so that's why, like I told you, I personally take my water purification, on my site, and I soak all of my things in there. I take my water purification, and I'm just going to keep it like that. We spoke about it last week. I soak my meat in it, and I showed you last week what it can do to glyphosate. It can even show the body, according to what the doctor said that I showed last week, it can even change it into something good. Anything I soak in it. It pretty much, when you go to type in the testimonials of, you know what, it's pretty much can deal with anything. So for those who have ears to hear, weak gut bacteria, weak vitamin use. That's what's going to happen to you. People don't eat fermented foods. My children were just in there making some Gocc. We don't call it kimchi because I don't know who kimchi even is. And I can't give her some credit for fermenting some vegetables. So we call it Gocc. You know what I mean? That's how we're going to keep it Gucci. You see what I'm talking about? So you have to eat these fermented things. I like to have a lot of probiotics in a lot of our proteins that we sell, or like our premenopause supplement. We have probiotics in that, some soil probiotics and things like that. So in some of my supplements, we put, like the green powders, we will put probiotics in it, but you still should consume some probiotics. And if you buy them from the store and assume that they are like some sauerkraut off the shelf, that's not real good sauerkraut for your body. You need to get a sauerkraut probably from Whole Foods that's in the refrigerator section if you don't know how to make sauerkraut. But it's going to be time for you to learn to go and buy a cheap cabbage, soak it in something to get the pesticides off of it, or buy your organic one. I just don't trust either one of them. So I soak both of them in my water purification. I just do. Sorry. Unless I've grown it, I'm rinsing it off to keep the soil probiotics on it. And then the probiotics will get back inside of it when I ferment it. So I don't too much worry about that. Like if the water purification that I sell on my site, if it actually deals with all of the microbes, because they will be back reintroduced. I don't want anything crazy inside of my ferment. Okay? So you need to eat fermented foods to get your gut back healthy. You need to be consistent. I don't care if you don't like kefir. I don't like kefir. I drink it. They have to jazz it up for me, and I drink it because I know it's good for me. I love raw milk. Raw milk has raw probiotics in it as well. But there's still different probiotics in the kefir, so I drink both. You want to live or you don't. You would have had choices in ancient times because that's the way of that's the way that life was. But today you're living in a Western culture. You're going to eat a burger. You're going to eat a pizza. Somebody's going to invite you to somebody's house. You're going to eat some fried chicken every now and then with seed oils. It's just going to happen. Every now and then you don't know what everybody's putting, so you have to take a little apple vinegar water, right? And to make it look, I jazz it up with a little lime. I put that lime in it. And now we in the limelight. Shine bright. Okay? So we have to be very wise. Okay? And understand how things work. Vitamins cannot be absorbed without minerals. Minerals are the electricity of the body. Electrolytes. I was studying my tree because I have a few trees that just will not bring fruit back. And in my studies, it was showing me, don't give them any more compost tea. Don't give them any more chicken bedding or cow dung or fertilizer or nitrogen. Guess what it said to give them? Minerals. Minerals. And to guess what else it said? Be patient. Because the plant life and the plant organisms is very similar to us in our gut because we're made from the soil. Okay? So, vitamin D, for example, needs magnesium to be balanced out. And so does magnesium when it comes to vitamin D, vice versa. So we're speaking about vitamins. Pay attention. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. You better take your notes down. Vitamin A needs zinc. These vitamins need minerals. I don't like to get into the thing where people try to philosophize. Yeah, you see, you got the copper. They'll have a copper bracelet on. Me and your rock watching this cat online. I got the same copper little jug that we store water in. Okay, because if electricity goes off, the copper keeps it cold, it keeps it clean, it purifies the water. And it leaves some copper in there. This dude got a whole pyramid on there. You talking about, yeah, this is the Great Pyramid of Giza. He got it sitting on something where the water's turning, water's supposed to move. And then you got some black fool sitting there talking about, yeah, man, this water makes me feel electric. Why are we like this? So I don't get too deep with things. I'm just telling you, that's what minerals do to the body. They are your electricity. Your nerves, like your electrical wires. Okay? So when you lack minerals, okay, when you lack these electrolytes, that's why your nerves is bad. You start twitching, eyes twitching, hands twitching. Oh, yeah, you might be lacking magnesium, one of the number one supplements that people are lacking in the world to relax the body. You might be lacking potassium. Huh? You might be lacking some zinc. And guess what? The body can't rest because if you're taking your vitamin C, it can't really be absorbed because you need some of these minerals for it to be absorbed. All right. B vitamins require minerals to function too. Okay. Vitamins are the spark. All right. And minerals are the engine. You hear that? Vitamins are the spark, but minerals are the engine. The minerals is the most important thing more than anything. If you were in a desert, salt will be more important than water, just to tell you. Salt. They showed this years ago in the desert. When it comes to those muscles will lock up. They don't have potassium, magnesium. They will lock up. You'll be catching all types of Charlie horses and all of that. All right. So why minerals matter more than vitamins? Minerals activate enzymes. You don't have the right enzymes, the right stomach acids, guys. Your body is not going to absorb a lot of things. This gut, when you get older, is very important. It ain't just about looks. Having your gut, let me tell you, is very important. Your core is one of the most important things in life. Huh? That's why you see all these sisters wearing waist trainers, because the Most High took that girdle away for them trying to walk around in pride. It ain't as easy. He said he was going to do these things. Now look at us in the curses, having to go through all of these antibiotics. Elder taught us this when we first got into the truth, what antibiotics meant. Against life. You go to the pharmacy, say, let me get something against my life. Now we understand that these things can be used in emergency and you have to restart the gut by reintroducing probiotics. I get it. But what I'm telling you is people be taking this stuff so much, they don't have any life in their gut and they wonder why they don't have energy. You keep taking things, you keep deworming too much. The stuff that I sell on my site, I am not, you got to do research on it. I can't tell you what to do with everything, but I'm going to tell you about me. I am not deworming. I'm deworming like the Most High. I'm deworming like a form of dewormed sheep every 3 to 6 months. People got too scary and going all over the board after like 2020, and every week people deworming. Now, if you have a serious matter or something, okay, you need to work on that thing. You need to, I get that. We need to work on that thing 3 to 6 months. Depending on if it's worse than that, maybe even a year. But even with that, we're still taking in probiotics to reintroduce them to the gut. Even when you deworm a sheep, you got to reintroduce probiotics to these sheep or these goats. They tell you when they will sell probiotics at a store. Not me. I'm just gonna give this thing some kefir. When I deworm my animals, I understand that they're going to need to have probiotics reintroduced. I'm just going to give them some kefir. I don't need to go spend $50 on a probiotic tube. But people, when you keep killing off life too much, what's going to fight for you after you've dewormed everything? Don't you know the nature of worms and critters is going to come back? There's balance in the body. If you go and eat some more food, there may be something in there. And it's going to come right back in your body. You shake someone's hand, you step on something, whatever, you touch an animal, it starts right back. And now you have no life to fight for you. You're putting on lotions and the wrong fragrances. Now you're killing off your life on your skin. It can just get deeper and deeper. But let me stay on focus. Minerals activate enzymes. Hormones cannot function without those minerals. Remember I told you guys not too long ago, a lot of people, listen, I stay on people's head on my little fitness channels because a lot of people just innocently forget. They're busy. So I tell you, hey, every day I'm taking this, I'm taking that. I do that to remind people, to put people in remembrance. Because you're going to have some stupid know-it-alls who comes on here, oh, I don't take supplements, I do this. These people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just got a herbal book that anybody can order off Amazon and don't know what the hell they're doing. Ain't healed nobody. I've been healing people for years, man. Not going to tell you what from because that's illegal, but you got to know what you're talking about. And what you don't know is you need to say, you know what? I'm not good in this area. Let's take them to a doctor for that at least. You got to be wise. Don't just listen to anybody who wants to try to get some views on some channel. You got to know when to tell a person, nah, brother, it's time to go to the hospital. And you got to know when it's like, hey, maybe you can try this or do this. But once again, the gathering of Christ Church is not doctors. We cannot give out medical advice. Okay? Just want to put that out there. Okay? Stress burns through minerals faster after 40. And when I ask people, hey, have you been taking your stuff? Oh man, I fell off. People fell off. I'm not judging you. I'm like, it's all good, man. Just get back up on it. You know, because people think that they just eating food. You don't farm your food. You don't know what you're getting in your body. That's why there's supplementation. You think people like taking supplements? You're living in the curses where you have to live a certain way now to get from point A to point B to make it to the kingdom. Can homemade sunflower oil be healthy? No. No. It's not healthy. Seed oils are not healthy. I'm sorry. It's useful for something. If you likely ever use it, you're not going to die, of course. But once you overuse that seed oil, I'm sorry to tell you, it's not healthy for you. We'll talk about that soon. I'm going to tell you some oils on here that are good. Don't mean you can't use it though, but I'm just saying I personally wouldn't use it. I mean, I would use it on, there's a lot of things you can use it for though, to be honest. But we all get a little bit of it. So I'm not going to, you shouldn't stress about it. When you go get a burger, there's some sunflower oil in it. When you buy some potato chips, you're eating sunflower oil. So don't trip about it. Get you some little apple vinegar and deal with it. But as far as you at home, I wouldn't do it at home unless you're going to use it for something else. There's so many things you can use sunflower oil for. It has a lot of good uses. But in the gut, not the best. That's all I'm saying, okay? But we're all going to deal with it in some organic potato chips. They're using sunflower oil. These companies are not going to use olive oil. That's just what it is. Okay? So, once again, stress burns through minerals faster after 40. When we're in our 20s, it's like we can just go all day. I can play basketball for 6 hours straight. Not even get tired. The Gadite in me, let me tell you, Gad can go. Now, I know I got some Levi in me. I might got a little Judah, but I know I definitely got some Gad, and Gad can go. There's books on Gad. They run and then get tired, like pumas and bobcats. The white man wrote about it. And I was always wondering, I'm like, why am I not tired? It's not that they don't get tired, but what I mean is like, trust me, when they mind is focused, and a lot of people who think that they're Judah be Gad. Because Gad and Judah have a relationship like that. We'll read that scripture too about those Gadites. David even kept some of the Gadites among him purposely. Just like when we came over here, we just got along just fine. Had babies with each other and all that. Soil depletion is another reasons why we lack minerals. I don't care if you're talking about you got that thing from the farm. If you didn't get it from the farmer's market of people who's growing it with good soil, you don't know what you're getting. And you can feel the difference, especially when you're after 40. If you're lifting weights or working hard, you can feel the difference. If your nerves are bad, if you're getting tired too quick, you can feel the difference. And one of the mistakes that a lot of people can make, I want you to listen. If you guys don't listen, you're not going to glisten. I'm going to tell you right now. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it. This is serious information coming up right now. If you think it's regular, you regular. And I would love to see you come and work out with me, your rock, somebody who do some real working out. I would love for you to see it. And I'm not talking about these pull-ups that people be doing when they just coming up. That's not a pull-up. I'm talking about stretching all the way down. The shorties will get you a nice big back. But I'm talking about some real workouts. I'm just keeping it real. And guess why I don't knock people? Because they up there doing it. They doing it. Okay? But I'm just keeping it real. You got some people who be know-it-all. It's like, why you on here watching us then? Why you not doing what you say you do? I don't see you producing nothing. Your calves is the size of Jim Jones. Okay? Smoking all that weed. Stop it. That weed is eating them calves alive. And a lot of black people don't got the biggest calves, but Jim Jones joints, and you know, shout out to Jim Jones, but I'm just saying. he be getting money up there. He's a strong man, but he got to work on the calves. Okay? If they was an inch bigger, he'd be better. So don't let no know it all, man. Listen. These people who used to just smoke weed all day and drink and play basketball, and they about 150. Trying to tell you everything. See, and they get on some pull-up bars in New York or something. So you gotta lock out before. The more you lock out, your arm's gonna be locked out of being able to actually curl or move. They tell you to lock out on your joints out there. Professional bodybuilders even tell you don't lock out, people. You're not supposed to lock out on your joints. When you see people lifting like this, just snapping their joints. Boom, boom. God didn't make the joints for you to wear them out, people. That's what the fats are for. You're actually supposed to come, you don't over pull like a toy soldier on your joints. You come down on the muscle, not the joint. And you come just before that joint. Let me tell you guys, we are done letting people talk who don't know what the hell they're talking about. All over the internet, just misleading people. You didn't see what happened to this person. What's this guy, for example? What's the guy who talks all that mess, who be doing this little hand sign all the time? Y'all know who I'm talking about, the bald-headed, white-looking guy who just lost the fight against that sorry dude. He's always so-called going against the Illuminati, and he just lost that boxing fight. Man, he got a whole black red eye. You got some people who talk so much on here. He's supposed to be some kickboxing champion. Got his behind whipped. You got to be careful, you know what I mean, who you listen to out here. Huh? If they didn't talk so much mess, you might be able to listen to him a little bit if they was a little humble, so when he get his behind whipped, at least he's a good man. Andrew Tate. I'm sorry, Mr. Andrew Tate. Sometimes I would hear what you saying, but I'm like, why dude seem like he's like so hard? Like, why is he so angry? Like he could just defeat the world. Man, they showed the guy he fought. Side note, before he even got in the ring, this dude was swinging like less than a girl and whipped his behind. And I'm like, you sure this dude was a kickboxing champion? Father have mercy. I'm like, social media is scary. You got a bunch of people on here who ain't what they say they are, guys, and everybody have something to say. This generation is so horrible. Everybody who's poor couldn't have a voice nowhere else, have something to say. They can be living in the damn projects. They cannot have a house, and everybody got something to say. You leave one comment, they eating you up, but guess what? In real life, they wouldn't be eating you up. They can barely find something to eat up, but they got something to say. Nah, man, see, Israel is in Africa. It's like, and I heard that same comment today, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to give myself a headache about somebody who I don't even know. They don't have nothing on their page, and it's just like total annoyance. I'm telling y'all, you follow your teachers. Follow your teachers. That's all I'm going to tell you. All right. I learned a long time ago. Don't say nothing that you don't know. You're going to be a fool. Don't try to go around acting tough on everybody, because they're going to be that one person to whoop you and put you on your behind. Just because you got pride, God going to let it happen. So, hormones after 40, men and women. Let's talk about it real quick. First, we're going to go into the men. Testosterone. Let's talk about testosterone. I take something, especially after 40, called Ultra Test. Ultra Test is a herbal testosterone that we sell on our site. And the reason I'm not saying it to sell it, you can buy it from wherever you want to, but I like the herbs. Men's testosterone drops by 10% every year. This is not some made up number. This is facts. The way they're doing things, the chemtrails, the plastics, the microplastics in the water. I personally rather not drink water out of plastic. So sometimes I'm trying to bring my own water or whatever the case. probiotic drink to class, whatever. But every now and then, if I have to, if I'm thirsty, I'm going to drink it. I'm going to pray over that bottle and drink it, whatever the case may be. But I'd rather not, because I've seen companies sitting plastic bottles outside in the sun, and once it hits that sun, the plastic starts to leach into that water. Your clothes, we talked about it last week, all of that. Cortisol stress rises easier after you're 40, and your insulin sensitivity drops. So the sugar you used to be able to eat when you were young and burn off very easy because of you having a fast metabolism, actually you become pre-diabetic very easy, especially if you drink a lot of cheap alcohol. Alcohol in general already. If you're drinking alcohol, it messes up your hormones. It destroys brain cells if you overdrink. That's just the reality of it. That's why the Bible said to do a little bit of it, especially the strong drink that was made for a man if he's dying or if he's going through some type of pain. That's just the reality of it. We all sip a little bit, but if you overdo it, especially if you train and you stay healthy and you have a certain diet, you're going to feel it. You'll feel that headache. And let me tell you something. I'm probably going to have to show you guys the video. I don't even know if I have that video, but my wife sent me a video, man, and they were showing all of the actual alcohols. They were showing a lot of the alcohols. Let me see. Yeah, this, you know what? I got it. Okay. I want to show you this really quick. Why I mostly either deal with tequila, things from Mexico. Mexico, they really deal with the GMO. America's trying to get them to do it. I really don't deal with a lot of things. I'll deal with beer from Belgium. I'm not a beer drinker, but it'll be ale, some type of Viking ale or something like that from Belgium and Europe, because they have different laws of things that they just can't do in the EU. So I really don't just drink anything like that. Most of the stuff I'm going to make from home, and that's just the reality of it. I might drink a margarita with some tequila, whatever, but a lot of the wine is clarified with pork. You just got to do your research. If I get some mead or something, I have a place here in Houston, Imperial Wine, where we go, and all of that wine there is natural there. Okay, it's living wine. He after 2020, he decided to open a place called Living, like that has living wine. So, but mostly even with that, I still like to make my own stuff, because for sure I know what's in there. But I want to show you this really quick, if you don't mind. Really quick. This is not to hurt anybody or say, like some Pharisee, oh, I see you drinking that, you know, ooh, you know, listen, I'm just putting information out there. Whenever you decide that you want to change or do whatever, that's on you. Just putting information out there, guys, all right? And guess what? Because I understand this business world, yeah, I'm going to tell you, I believe it. Glyphosate is in everything.
They like to have a beer or a glass of wine after they get home from work.
Fair use.
News for anybody who likes to unwind after a stressful day at work with either a nice glass of wine or a nice cold beer. Because according to a new study, of the 20 most popular wine and beer brands here in the United States, 19 out of those 20 tested positive for containing Monsanto's glyphosate poison. Now, if you're not familiar, glyphosate is the active ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup weed killer.
Whoa.
That is, according to the World Health Organization, a probable human carcinogen that has been linked to various different forms of cancer, including non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Just about a week ago, a new report came out saying that exposure to glyphosate increases your risk of getting cancer by 41%. And 19 out of the
41%, people. That is not good. They're hitting us on all levels. Air warfare, water, relaxation type of beverages, food. We are at war. Why do you think I have to come out with shows like this? I have to come out with shows like this. I can't just let you listen to people who's online with little podcasts and they're not telling the truth. A lot of people are on steroids. A lot of people are getting paid by the you-know-who.
most popular beer and wine brands in the United States tested positive for containing this carcinogen. Here they are. I'll read the list. Suderholm Merlot, Behringer Founders Estates Moscato, Barefoot Cabernet Sauvignon, Incauteri Malbec Frey, Organic Natural White. Those are the wines, and here are the beers.
Organic Natural White.
We have Coors Light, Miller Lite, Budweiser, Corona, Heineken, Guinness, Stella Artois, Ace Perry Hard Cider, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, New Belgium Fat Tire, Amber Ale, Sam Adams, Stella Artois, and Sam Smith's Organic Lager.
And organic is not supposed to be sprayed. It's going to come a time to where, let me tell you, man, you really have to take your time where you go. Do your research. I mean, it's bad out here. It's really bad out here. That's all I wanted to tell y'all. So do your research on the wine you get, guys. You have to respect the Jewish people to a certain degree because they're going to do research on the products that they eat. How can we be the so-called true ones and we're lazy? We're too lazy to do it and just say our God got us. No. If those who are supposed to be foolish do it, isn't that wisdom what they're using? So we want to put our money in places we want to put it, but not for our health. I value a diet more than a mansion. I value a clean, good diet more than a mansion. Okay? Those are popular brands, my sister, but check it out. Yeah, exactly. Those are popular brands. But the brands that are under them are definitely doing it because they're just trying to get in. You have to do your research to see what's best for you. Like I said, I'm not going around when somebody got a Corona and they pop the Corona, pop your Corona, baby. I'm not going to say nothing, but don't offer it to me. You see, when I come, I'm bringing my own stuff. And if you got something, I pray you know, I know who I'm drinking from. That's all I'm going to say. And I know their intentions are good and charitable, but I have to protect this. I know how it feels to have hangovers from this cheap liquor, even liquor that was so-called organic. I'm like, one thing about me, my wife know, and my family know, I know my body. My metabolism is really good. My body, it almost tells me what's going on just like that when I eat something. Oh, it was that. Oh, this happened. Because I understand my body. Okay? So I just want to put that out there real quick. Women. So once again, we talked about the insulin levels being sensitive now, the cortisol rising, testosterone decreasing in men. Very important. You guys, if you have children, tell them just to leave for a second because I want to say something for the men. Okay? For your members, for your male members, if you are obese, your estrogen levels are going to get too high. And your, erection, the thing you need to make babies, is going to be very weak. And men have already hit me up, on and off, whether in the church or off. And I try to help them with this, because this is important. And if you guys remember that I read the iodine crisis to you, this iodine is amazing. I'm going to tell you right now, if you read the book. Okay, for those of you, it tells you people who have had issues and they take a paintbrush and they learn how to paint a masterpiece. That's all I'm going to say. But get the iodine crisis and figure out the rest. But the iodine is very, very, very important because it's depleted in the soil. Copper depleted in the soil. All of these minerals are, I'm sorry to tell you. I remember 1 week I did not take my minerals. Boy, do I regret that. I was so tired. Okay. We get a lot of vitamin D. In the summertime, you probably don't need to, unless you live in the UK or something like that, overtake that unless you don't get K2. That's different. If you don't get K2, that's a whole different story. But in the summertime, because I drink so much dairy and stuff, I didn't really need to take my vitamin D like that. And I'm getting K2 and everything. And in the dairy, we have so much fermented foods and stuff over here. But the minerals, energy straight off. You pulling muscles, hands shaking, nerves back. Because I lift me some weights. And I work hard. What energy? Guys, you take weeks, hours, months sometime to absorb minerals. Don't lack on them. That could be an issue. You're having energy issues, hormone issues. Let me tell you something, guys. It's going to take you some weeks to take something to stop something. That's how herbs work. That's how they work. Most people are not in shape enough to absorb anything. And if you don't take it, even though you're not in shape, that's even more foolish. What you would want to do is you would want to start to stimulate the gut. Squatting, jumping, rubbing the belly with the hands, beating it a little bit, getting that thing activated day by day, little by little, transitioning it so that the body can start to slowly absorb. Very important. Okay? Let's talk about the women really quick. Women do have testosterone to a certain degree, but the people who are taking testosterone from the doctors, a lot of times you'll see those women have very, very tight, manly looking faces. That's because they're taking some type of anabolic steroid or hormone, okay, with testosterone in it, okay? But testosterone is a balanced hormone in women where it supports strength, energy, mood, and bone density. You guys already know women about progesterone. After you're 40, it drops. It was used to help you when it comes to, having a baby and things like that, but it's going to drop as you get older and become premenopausal. Testosterone declines. Your thyroid also becomes even more sensitive if it wasn't already sensitive due to medication coming from doctors that just throws your whole body, hormones, and gut off. If you don't take, women, if you don't take or eat, if you don't eat probiotics, if you don't have enzymes, if you don't work out, I'm going to just tell you, you think eating vegetables is going to solve your problem? You're just eating fiber. It's not going to do nothing for you. Just telling you the truth. Those vegetables don't have enough minerals and vitamins from the soil at the grocery store. I'm sorry to tell you, because you don't know where they're coming from. Unless you're growing them actively, which most people don't have time to do, you need supplementation. You're going to need to get you some probiotics for the gut. You're going to need to eat them, make them at home. You're going to need to heal that gut. And you're going to need to build muscle. I don't know why black people, I was just looking at the percentages of people who works out in America. Asians were like the number one. Now, nobody's going to be stronger than us, even when we don't work out. But sometimes Jake get humbled. Sometimes Jake get humbled like Deontay Wilder. And I love me some Deontay Wilder. But Tyson Fury, he did a great job in that fight. Now, Deontay Wilder, he put him up a statue because I know he loves his people. But sometimes we get humbled when we get cocky. But we're going to need to stay in some shape around here if we see what's coming. Estrogen becomes very erratic and all over the place, sisters. Especially if you guys have a high soy diet, eating them cheap burgers. Guys, if you're in the truth and you eating Burger King, shame on you. If you're in the truth and you eating McDonald's, shame on you. I'm sorry to tell you. This is a shame. Dr. Rabbi Finkelstein already told you what the deal is. Those are not burgers. That's soy. That's Soylent Green. You haven't watched Soylent Green? You might want to check it out. Elder mentioned it many times. There might be some images of God inside that burger. Grind it up. They showed it on a 50 Cent movie that they hurt somebody on some movie and they sent it to a Jewish, it was like a Jewish meat processing place. Straight up. Go get the same. Let me tell you, go get you some ground beef and make your own burger. And try to find you some good ground beef. Okay? Like I said, the thyroid becomes sensitive as well. So women, you don't necessarily lose your femininity, but you do lose balance. Your hormones are all over the place. Some women can end up falling into bipolarism because your hormones are all over the place. You're angry, short, tempered, and stuff like that. Things that men don't really want to deal with. So both people have to get themselves in order. It's not about people try to, when they want to get in shape after 40, 50, 60 and all that, they overwork. Your body can't take the overwork. Your body cannot take the overtraining. Actually, less training is better, meaning more like 3 times a week, more like a full body workout Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And hey, 30 minutes probably in the gym, and if you want to do some cardio, whatever, but you really don't need to to really just do the cardio like that too much if you're working out correctly. You can do cardio on the day of rest on that day, but you really want to try to focus on building muscle and eating a high protein diet. And I'm telling you, it's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. If you ever want to see that pouch go down, that kangaroo pouch go down, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have to eat whatever you want to weigh, eat that much in protein. I have a protein shake in the morning when I wake up, okay? And then I eat my breakfast after I train because I want my fat to be used. That's what I do personally. There's a lot of different ways you could do this. And after I eat a high protein, I'm talking about beef every day beef. Forget what you heard. I got a slaughtered cow up in that beef is superior. I eat beef every day. Every single day. It does not mess your gut up. They lied to you guys. You're Israelites. Levites was eating beef all the time. The sacrifice was going to the Levites. I'm just telling you the truth. Don't listen to what they talking about out there. Okay? Now, overeating anything is bad. But if you're working, let me tell you what the Levites was doing, that's work. Picking up them animals and doing all of this stuff. Let me tell you, they needed to eat. They needed to eat. And this is the misconception. As you get older, you got to eat less. Actually, you will slow down your metabolism. That's already been slowed down even more. You won't build any muscle. You'll become frail because you're already losing glutamine, amino acids, and proteins. If you're not eating enough protein, you ain't going to be able to fight nothing. Who you fighting off? Who you fighting off with vegetables with that little, you too happy, you too kind. You don't have no fight in you when you're only eating vegetables. I showed y'all that already. We got to eat vegetables. That's fiber for our gut. But what I'm telling you is it's non-negotiable. If you think I'm lying, look up any forum, any article, any experts. Look it up. Google it. It's non-negotiable for your hormone balance for men and women. If you're over 40 and your protein is not high, you ain't gonna see. You're gonna start to see the little women how they get the little neck under here. It's too much of that neck. And some people, when they hear this show, they finna go and work hard and get this done because they probably think Elder's talking about them. That's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you just the reality of life. You can actually take that away through high protein. Okay? Make sure you have enzymes, digestive enzymes for your liver. Get you some apple vinegar, a little lime, or we have digestive enzymes on our site with papain and bromelain. It's 2 of the best enzymes out there for the stomach. Okay? And it's going to help you to digest your food. You want to stimulate it by exercising. Exercise is non-negotiable. Some people think exercise is just picking up a damn stick or because you walked or like you picked up something heavy and you got some exercise. That's cool. I'm not against that, but I am bringing this show out for people who actually want to like really have balanced hormones, things not all over the place, and feel and look good. Getting those clothes and look really nice to their own standards. Get the balance chart, even though they say black women is above that balance chart because they make it for white people. When I say balance, the weight of the height and the weight and all of that, to a certain degree, it's true, guys. To a certain degree, it's true. Yes, black people are a little, and I'm talking about Israelites, are a little, have a little bit more muscle in some areas, but I have to tell the truth. I can't come on here sugarcoating because somebody feels bad. I'm not here for that. I still love you guys. I have to tell the truth. I'm here to help you to get better. Thank you very much. All right, we got this beautiful Lions brew. I don't want to tip it over and spill it on me, but I know you see what it do. All right. That's that anti-everything tea. So yes. We need to have high protein. I don't care if you're getting it from me or not. I don't care about that. I'm just presenting information. This is not for me to sell you something. This is for me to tell you something. Okay? It's non-negotiable. So I just put it out there. You have to do it. If you care about why you're not seeing results. Men up in there working out, their body's not changing. You don't have enough protein, my brother. You're being cheap. Your priorities is to eat a bunch of carbs. You're going to stay fat swole. After 40, it's not about being fat swole. It's about having a healthy heart, healthy organs. Your genetics is going to fill out. If you want to be, having more muscle, okay, do more hypertrophy type of exercises with higher reps. If you want to focus on strength, 1 to 5 reps. If you want to balance it out, okay, 7 to 12 reps. Now you're going to have muscle and strength. If you want to just focus on muscle and not strength, go higher reps. Even though you're going to gain some strength, you're not going to be as strong, obviously, as a power lifter. I didn't slice it whatever way. But I'm not going to be wrong about this one. So debate all you want to, but I'm not going to be wrong about it. It's non-negotiable. Too much alcohol is going to ruin you. Sorry to tell you. You're going to be pre-diabetic and, I can throw them back. I got genetics. Okay, cool. That's why you're always shiny and sweating. Let me tell you, the alcohol is telling it all. It's going to show in your eyes. It's going to show in your face. It's going to show in your gut, your liver. Let me tell you. Start hitting them weights. Start hitting them bands. Start doing some push-ups. Start doing some pull-ups. And take your time. Over 40, I'm talking about. You youngsters out there, y'all good right now, but just take the wisdom so you can prepare your body and think about longevity. Everybody's going to be strong in their 20s and 30s and have that strength. But if you want longevity, this can be for you too, so you can understand not to burn yourself out. If I can do it again, I wouldn't have burned myself out. Meaning like I'm not burned out, but like I wouldn't have. Certain things is not necessary. Where you get certain injuries is what I'm saying, right? So metabolism and diet mistakes. Let's talk about it once again. Eating too little slows the thyroid. See, people got this all wrong. Yes, you have to fast when you have to fast. Of course. Of course. Nobody's telling you not to. But I'm telling you how to keep your hormones balanced. Even when people fast, if they haven't transitioned and taught their body how to fast, sometimes their insulin is all over the place. And guess what? The body can fix itself, but I'm telling you, really pay a little bit more attention to your body. The body loves to be transitioned and not shocked. It loves to be transitioned and not shocked. You just drop your carbs tomorrow. People don't do that. Don't do that. Your hormones are going to be all over the place. You can drop your carbs to a certain degree. But where you drop carbs, you will need to eat more protein and have some fat. Okay? So eating too little slows the thyroid. You know how many people have Hashimoto's and thyroid issues and become over-aggressive and anxious, stressed, monsters and all that? I'm talking about it. I'm telling you the truth. People will make all types of life decisions because their thyroid is messed up. I'm telling you some real stuff. Overtraining after 40 raises cortisol levels. Your body just will not rejuvenate like it did when it was young. It's nature. You're older now. Yes, we're Israelites, but the reality is the flesh is weak. It's not like the everlasting heavenly body we're going to get. That don't mean you can't push yourself eventually to a point. That's not what that means. Don't forget, Caleb in the Bible was 80 years old, able to go out and come in from war. But you talk about a man on an ancient diet, a man in an ancient environment with no chemicals around. Every day you walk outside, before you walk outside, they're putting fog in the air at night with all types of Morgellons and type of little parasites and microbes in the air. So what I do, I have something like, even though I have here, okay, that we're going to be dropping soon. I got some other stuff that we're dropping soon. Okay. And let me tell you something. With all of that stuff out there, people getting sick and all of that, I don't be getting sick like that. These are things before I sold y'all I've been on. Because I had to learn in Egypt. I'm like, okay, me and Ramar, we're never getting sick. But when they overspray these chemtrails, there's something about them. So it took me some years to develop something. And when I'm going around people, I have a few things that I do. Okay, and I'm talking about, hey, allergies have been less even when other people have been having allergies. So this stuff really works. And I have another thing that I'm going to add on there that really works. And I'm talking about for those heavy metals in the sky. So that's going to be coming on the site really soon, okay? And I use it already every day. So a lot of things that I have on the site, they were personal things that we just used. And I didn't care to have to just go out my way and share them with everybody. But when I realized the attack, I said, okay, I have to actually put some of these home things that I do on there as well, because they have been effective with me, effective for me and my family for years. So I had to actually just put some things up there. And you're talking about from some experts and doctors that I've studied for years of why I do what I do. Okay, so you'll hear about that. But anyway, eating too little will slow your thyroid. So you're not being a glutton. Don't get the two confused. But like a fire, you put sticks in the fire to keep the fire going. Metabolism, when it slows down, you have to do the same thing to it. You now have to feed it. Well, Elder, am I going to be a glutton? You're not going to be a glutton. No, you're not. You want to survive and keep your hormones balanced in a Western world environment? This is what you have to do. If not, think about it like this. I know, think about the irony of it. From the curses the Most High told us we would be under. Now, you have your little stomach or your fat in certain areas you don't want it, in the unwanted areas. You eat less, you just eat vegetables, you keep it, even though you're eating less. You eat, in a sense, more in smaller portions of high protein, but then it goes away. You see how you actually have to have knowledge for something? It's not just you eating less. It's hormone issues, people. It's gut issues, people. This environment is not pushed to eat fermented foods that keep the gut on point. I'm sorry to tell you, it's just not. Okay? You don't want to be that person where you're shrinking and you do these quick diets and your face is becoming wrinkle faster than it's supposed to because you did an extreme diet. You don't want to do that. Everybody, you need to transition and be getting ready to go along for the ride. Don't do an overnight diet. Don't get desperate and say, I need surgery. You need to stop being lazy and have faith and put in work. The faith you had to destroy yourself through the lack of knowledge, through your faith in your works, regardless if you thought it was faith in works or not, it was. But it was in the opposite way. The same faith you need to have of putting good things in your body and doing the opposite and prioritizing what's more important now. Okay? Overtraining raises cortisol, like I said. Extreme carb cutting disrupts hormones. I remember years ago telling a person, he's like, how do I get down? I was like, listen, you're going to have to drop your carbs. You're going to have to transition it very slowly. If you're eating a cup of rice, you're going to take it to a half a cup of rice for about 3 weeks. Weigh yourself and see how you look. Okay, if you don't like how you look, drop a little bit more carbs. You can drop your carbs down to 250 grams, okay, if you have to. But if you start training to build muscle and strength. Believe it or not, eventually once you're doing this, you will actually need a little bit more carbs to actually fuel you. So that's crazy how it works. Carbs are not the enemy. It's refined carbs, cheap carbs. You have to learn how to either soak certain type of legumes, and learn how to take apple vinegar and stuff before you eat, or kefir before you eat or after you eat. These things help to digest with the enzymes and stuff like that. I'm telling you. All right. Extreme carb cuts. Some people tomorrow are going to just drop the carbs and just start eating monk fruit. I get it. I drink monk fruit in my tea. Okay. But the whole deal, and I drink pure monk fruit. It's not the little mixed stuff with the other stuff. But if you do it too quick, you're going to keep the fat. You're going to shock your body, and your body's going to get afraid and it's going to keep the fat. Because some people are just extreme. They like to just press the turn on and turn off button. You can't do that. You're going to keep the fat anyway now. The body is going to be afraid because it's used to you being consistent with doing the wrong things according to how the body works. If you just shut it off, get ready, because you're going to get worse. And what's going to happen is it's going to take you weeks to a few months to get back on point. There you go, Judah Keys. You have to study it. People lack consistency. This is why. They lack consistency in discipline in many areas. That's why some of us work out. Some of us don't work out just for the body. Some of us work out for the mentality. And it helps us in other areas. We all need to familiarize ourselves in these areas. It's very, very important. Consistency in minerals and protein is going to be one of the best things that you ever done in your life. And when I said that, you probably thought that you ain't supposed to take your vitamins. No. That's why, like I said, even on my site in a few weeks, God willing, I'm going to make it. My goal is to eventually make it to where, for the simple, and when I mean simple, not condescending, I mean like the people who don't fully understand still, it can help guide them in what to do on some levels. So me and my wife are working on that. But for now, you guys have a guide today to help you. You're going to have to study this lesson, because a lot of people will tell you to do certain things online and they're on steroids. I'm just telling you the truth. And I know everybody who's on steroids. I've been bodybuilding so long, I can see how the stomach sits, the squares on the stomach. I can see the little oval shaped baby belly on men. I can see how the delts sit. Let me tell you, I've been doing this a long time. I can hear how the voice changes in women when they're on steroids. I got friends who are on steroids right now. I talk to them. Okay? And there's some legal things that doctors can give out that are like testosterone, is what I mean. Okay? I'm not talking about something illegal. I don't know who's doing anything illegal, but I can tell you, when I look at him, he's definitely not natural. So when they look at me, they know that I'm natural. And when I'm lifting a certain type of weight, they know the difference. So starving yourself after 40 tells the body to conserve. If you do it, your hormones still going to be all over the place. You're still never going to reach the place you're trying to get. Now you're starving yourself. You need to fast sometimes. But if you overdo it, why you think certain people have to go to hospitals when they fast sometimes or whatever? Because you have to understand your body. We're in a different environment, different times. People have taken things in their arms when they were children. You have to understand this whole thing. There's no one size fits all for everybody. But I'm going to tell you this. That protein is. The minerals is. Them healthy fats is. Period. Taking out refined foods is. And if you do eat them, you better hope you're working out to cheat with them. You better hope you're taking digestive enzymes to deal with them. Especially, we're talking about today after 40. We're not talking about when you're in your 20s. I can eat 2 whole plates and be fine. And I'm good. I'm going to still keep a 6-pack abs. Not now. You got to work for everything right now. Let me tell you, it's quicker to put it on than take it off. There you go. What's your name? NY Cutie Forever. Look, NY Cutie say, I'm cutie forever. What y'all talking about? That's faith right there. NY Cutie say, listen, I'm cutie forever. I don't care what nobody talking about. Yes, Ozempic. The Gila Monster, the little Gila Monster stuff that they put inside the Ozempic. They put in a reptilian, some type of reptilian type of substance inside of the Ozempic. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. So, I like that faith though, NY Cutie Forever. That's how I be. I tell people I ain't never getting old. I tell my children, y'all getting older, I'm getting younger. And I keep it like that. The common sense will tell you you're getting a certain way, but I ain't saying the word. I'm becoming of age mature. See, I'm not a fool no more. I'm wise now. According to the Holy Spirit, if I let her in me, I'm going to stay wise. But if she out of me, I'm going to become a fool. But check it out. I'm getting younger. The reason I say that because we're going into a place where you're going to be young forever. So that's how I think. But I'm smart enough to know what's going on. Come on now. I just it's certain words I don't want to speak to my body. All right. So training, you have to understand, you have to look at training a little different way. It's more of a signal, not a punishment. It signals your hormones and your body to do certain things, okay? So I just want to put that out for you to look at it like that. Once again, let's go over the food balance really quick. Protein preserves muscle and slows age-related muscle loss because we lose a lot, okay? It protects your metabolism and your insulin sensitivity. Protein does that. A lot of people are against protein powder. Let me tell you, don't be against protein powder. A lot of us rather not have to have it, but we are living in a Western society. I'm sorry to tell you, this is where we live now. Okay, it is what it is. Follow what some person is saying or follow your own stuff. But either way, get the meat or have a supplementation with protein powder. I have protein powder. Am I going to hell for drinking protein powder? No. I'm not. It's actually helping my body. I remember my brother went to the doctor. He was getting checked up, and guess what she told him? She's like, "You lacking protein." A lot of us be thinking just because we big and all. Let me tell you, he was lacking protein, and he was swole. So when they tell you in your blood you lacking protein, just because you think let me tell you, a lot of y'all don't be knowing what's going on. Okay? You're holding a lot of water. You're eating the wrong type of salt. Eating a cheap freezer food still. Let me tell you, you're going to get edema and all of that in your foot. Okay? So it provides amino acids needed to produce hormones. Low protein raises cortisol and slows recovery after 40. When we're young in our 20s, we don't need as much protein. Our body still is able to produce and do so much. I was able to just stay a certain size, eat whatever, eat Oreo cookies, eat like a prison inmate, all these refined carbs, and it would turn into muscle in my body. I prefer whey protein. We have a lactate enzyme in ours to help to digest it. And if you feel like you need more, take you a little apple vinegar on the side or whatever, or mix a little kefir or something to help to digest. But we have a enzyme in ours to help digest out. I prefer whey. I think it builds that animal for a reason is building stronger muscle than some. I'm sorry to tell you, than some vegan, but I love vegan too. I love them both. At one point I was loving the vegan more, but after research, nah, I'm sticking with the whey. You said the protein powder on my site is sold out. It'll be back in there, but if you got to order from somewhere else, so be it. But it'll be back up there. But I think I'm actually going to start adding more. I have more protein powder that I can offer, so I'm going to offer more variety of it. That way, it's always available. Okay, because most people don't understand protein. It's not one of our biggest sellers, to be honest. So it's sometimes certain things on my site, it don't stress. It's like it don't stress me to just have so much of it if it's not a bigger seller. But hopefully after tonight, there's less and people will realize. But protein powder can be expensive. I know. Meat can be expensive. I know, but you're going to have to kind of like pick and choose when it comes to your diet. See, the carbs are cheap, but look what the carbs are doing to you. You're cheap on the carbs now, but when you go to the doctor's bill is more expensive. So we just have to shave a few things in our lives and realize what's most important. For me to live in a big house and not be able to live in it because I'm not alive, or be alive and healthy and I can work and move up in these things in life. A lot of people are asking my website, Elder Dale, if you're on there, can you put in the site because I can't keep saying it as people come in. KeySupplements.com. That's KIIY supplements.com. And our other site is LionsHomestead.com. Elder Dale, yeah, if you see somebody, please just put it because I just want to stay focused. I'm sorry, guys. I just have to stay focused. All right. Protein helps to stabilize blood sugar and stress response. So people didn't know that protein is not just for only muscle, but it's for immune system. Okay? So carbs, they support thyroid function, just so you guys know. But too many refined carbs, it's going to raise that insulin. Too little carbs suppress the thyroid output. So your brain your blood needs sugars, but it does not have to have refined ones. Your thyroid too. How you feel when it comes to your hormones. If a person is just not eating any sugar, you're going to be very short and very dry. Fruits bring happiness. Carbs bring happiness. The muscles store glycogen. Very important. Tonight, we're just focusing on after 40, though, okay? That's the main thing. After 40, what the body needs. Fats are required for hormone production. Absorbing vitamins, fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, okay? And you need to, once again, avoid industrial seed oils, okay? So, let me see here. So, gut health. The old way was the right way. Kefir, a little natural wine, if it's living wine. Alcohol wine, it's not bad. They were using wine like that to mix with a little water to purify the water because of the microbes in the wine or the alcohol. The alcohol preserves the wine. That's what alcohol is for. It preserves the wine. Not too much though. Not too much wine. It improves mineral absorption. Okay? Your gut health I'm talking about. If your gut is in order, let me tell you, you metabolizing everything. Help vitamins activate naturally. This is very important. You don't absorb what you can't process. The parasites will eat it from you, or it will just flow through your body and you will urinate it out. Essential supplements after 40. Some of them I put here. Magnesium, one of the number one supplements not taken. Zinc, especially for men. Men, when zinc is very important for you. That's all I'm going to say. When you release something, you need the zinc. It's very important. Very, very important. Selenium. And women need all of this too, but I'm just saying, men, you definitely need zinc. It helps with your testosterone. Okay? Selenium. Iodine. Paired with selenium. Very, very important. You can look up the studies yourself. Iodine is very important to be paired selenium. Very important. Sulfur or MSM. Sulfur is made up over our whole body. MSM. You can find that one on our Lions Homestead. Gut support. Adaptogenic herbs. So you got gut support herbs, probiotics, or fermented foods. Okay? Adaptogenic herbs, not stimulants, all right? Because you can't out supplement mineral deficiency. You can't. You must have those minerals. Those minerals are like one of the most important things, guys. That's the foundation, all right? So let me read 1 Chronicles 12:8 for you really quick. And of the Gadites, they're separated unto themselves, unto David, into the hold, in the wilderness the men of might, and the men of war fit for battle, that could handle a shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were swift as the roes upon the mountains. It's describing here in Chronicles, 1 Chronicles 12:8, men who were in shape. How important it was to be healthy, to be able to go out to war and to come back in. Caleb, 80 years old as a man of Judah, able to go out and come back into war. How do you think our forefathers were fighting lions and bears and stuff like that? It was very important to stay in shape. Now, we don't have to fight a physical war right now. Now, if you want to get deep, there will be a battle in the desert with the southern kingdom and Amalek. There will be a battle if you want to get deep. Now, Elder can go into that if he wants to, but there's going to be a battle. So, but like I said, with war, there's spiritual powers helping in war. But the Most High, when he chose men for war, they had to be healthy. You can't just have a good zeal and you popping out with some big stomach and you act like you finna go to war. I'm sorry, partner, that ain't happen. As much as I love you, and as much as you're a good brother, and as much as it don't take nothing away from you to a certain degree, I'm just telling you, in all reality, you had to be fit for battle. There's so many scriptures I can go through on that. I'm just telling you that not to belittle you. I'm telling you that we are growing again as a nation. And we all have a lot of work to do, all of us. And we can all get better in a lot of areas. Okay? So zeal is one thing. But in all reality, we must admit, if we have become gluttons, if we have become fornicators, if we have become backstabbers, if we have become liars, we have to fix these things. You can't choose and pick. You can't pick and choose. Okay? So let me open up the calls really quick because we're getting ready to close it out. Just wanted to go into this really quick. And I'm going to give you a source. Let me open up the calls really quick, just in case somebody wants to call in. The call-in number will be, one second. I don't know where it's at. I don't know why it's not showing up today, but it doesn't seem to be, I don't even see it no more. I tell you what, I'm going to have to put the call-in number up there because for some reason it must have updated or something where I can't actually see it. Deep. Let me see something. Wow. Okay, yeah, so I did have some technical difficulties, even more than I thought. Give me one moment. The call-in number is going to be 979-398-5875. Let me see if I can actually redo that really quick, so and not mess anything up. No, not that. Okay. Y'all give me one moment, but that's the call-in number. 979-398-5875. I'm trying to get this to where it's going to show again. I'm gonna have to get with AC and see what happened here. Sometimes with this thing, it's just the restart of the program. I hate to say it, but it's crazy how this thing will work sometimes. All right. It will not show on the screen tonight for whatever reason. I have to see what is going on with that. But once again, the call-in number is 979-398-5875. Forgive me for it not showing tonight. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that's deep. Okay, so before I get out of here, let me see if I can go here really quick. Just to show you this video. Fair use for educational purposes only. This is a man who's not on any steroids, giving a little wisdom.
Aesthetic body. But at the same time, you want to keep your youngish look well into your 50s and 60s. Also, you don't want to compromise your health. You don't want to lose your hair, your skin, etc. I'm 55, and this was always my goal in life. It is difficult, but not impossible. You need to avoid, like the plague, drastic diets. If you undergo a drastic diet and you lose a lot of body weight in a few weeks, it's going to be mostly water, muscles, not really fat, and it's going to show in your face. Your face actually will lose a lot of volume, and this is the worst thing you can do because it's going to create an environment where you're going to have wrinkles prematurely. Your body weight must be more or less always the same. You need to have a routine. You need to establish a routine with daily nice habits.
Hey, yeah, your rock said tough love is important right now. I don't never want people to think that we're trying to take away from people's spirit or their encouragement. Listen, let me tell you, a gift of mine is exhortation. That's a gift of mine. For many years, I've changed people's lives through Christ. That's a gift of mine. And I mean, like, really, I can go back on all the people, but I'm not the person to say I've done this and done that. I don't care about that, but I'm telling you, that's a gift of mine. So if you just take it, it's one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit, no different than the gift you may have from the Holy Spirit that I can't do. Okay? You guys got it. You can do this. We all were somewhere, and we're trying to get somewhere. But we're going to do it together.
In which you eat well, you train, you do everything in moderation, and you can follow that consistently all year round. Also, don't overtrain. A lot of people overtrain because they are misled by influencers who lie to them about them using performance-enhancing drugs. If you are natural, you don't use any PED.
Of course, every natural.
Okay, this is what he's telling you, the same thing I'm telling you. A lot of influencers are giving you information out there, and you're following them because you see their bodies. The reality is most people over 40 do not have this type of body. Any person you see with this type of body, they worked for it. They either know what they're doing, man or woman, they have worked for it. And you can't, I'm sorry to tell you, whether they're in the truth or not, you can't shun somebody's discipline. That took something, a principle of the Most High to have. So a lot of people will say, well, they're doing this and they're doing that. Well, they don't have the truth yet, but guess what they do have? If they got the truth, they have a little bit more discipline than you. It's one thing for you to praise the Most High, and that's all good. But if you add a little discipline to it, like the Holy Spirit says, you may have something else. But if you listen to 90% of I hate to tell you, but 90% of these influencers are liars. The internet is filled with a bunch of buzzards to steal and to take money. You have to know the difference. And then you have a lot of people in between who just trying to make a little money in between. And they get crosshair eventually with these influencers. But it's very few people on here to tell you the truth. If the truth was, you know, that massive, like, and when I'm not talking about us being in the truth, I'm talking about if truth was that massive, the world would be a better place. The world is carnal, people. They are trying to capitalize and take money and keep people uneducated. That's what it's about. But I have to tell the people who are going into the kingdom how they need to learn how to capitalize off them own selves and not let others capitalize off of you, because you're going to be the rulers and kings and queens in the place to come. Okay?
Can get physique like this. You just need a very good diet. And I mean very, very good diet.
You should be very careful and
He telling you a good diet, but he on roids. And they'll tell you they got that way from some supplements. Brothers, supplements don't give you the body you see in front of you. And this man is not even on roids. It was hard for him to get this over 40 or 50. It's not easy. You have to work for it. Supplements give you what your body needs to metabolize things because you just need it anyway. Whether you're working out or not, you go still need the supplements anyway. But you know what I mean?
the guidelines. Otherwise, you can overtrain, and this can be detrimental to your health. Water. Water is essential. Drink 2 liters per day, as per se. I say you have to drink much more than 2 liters.
Now, this is the part with him I don't agree with, only because he's probably in a better country where has better water. You have to know which type of water you're drinking. If you drink too much of the wrong water, you're going to flush out a lot of your minerals. That's just the truth of the matter. So I personally, I eat a lot of watermelon. I eat a lot of fruit. Not too much fruit where it's going to give me too much sugar. And I do drink water. As you know, I'm drinking water right now. Your body knows how to process this water. There's minerals in here from the apple vinegar. There's minerals in here from the lime. And obviously there's going to be some vitamins too. So this water here is a water that's living. It has electrolytes in it now. It's not just an empty water. Because my well has minerals, but sometimes your well will have too many minerals that your body doesn't need. So now I have a house filter, okay, a 3-stage house filter, the huge joints, and then it comes through a reverse osmosis to drink. That's not going to really have any more minerals in there for me. So in my refrigerator, I have something called Soul Water, S-O-L-E, or Sole water. You can just look up how to make it. We drop that in our water, and we drink that. You understand what I'm saying? Very, very, very important to not just have empty water. Okay. What brand of apple vinegar? Well, we have a brand here in Texas called, it's a HEB Organics brand. But really, at this point, I'm also going to be like most people who are homesteaders, making my own apple vinegar too, just like I make my wine. Just hadn't got around to it. But it's not something that's hard to do at all.
We drink 3, 4, or even 5 liters. Because if you only drink 2 liters per day, sure, you're going to be healthy. So finish your skin and make sure that you are hydrated. You need to drink way more than that. Sleep. Sleep is also essential. You cannot be sleep deprived and expecting to look youngish when you are in.
The reason I'm telling you also, you don't need to overdrink water because you're going to be urinating all day long. You have some people who's telling you drink a gallon of water every day and all of that. Yeah, but that's not absolutely necessary. I'm sorry to tell you. And then when it's time for you to eat your next protein meal, you're too full to deal with it because you're drinking so much water. So drinking water is good. It's definitely good. But everything you need is what you need. Whether it's water, whether it's protein, whether it's food, you need to know what you need. And once again, if you are a man and you say, man, I'm 165, I want to be 175. You need to slowly transition yourself to eating 175 grams of protein. Don't do it overnight. Slowly do that. Don't overwork your liver just yet. Slowly do that. If you're 165, you want to be 175, you start to eat 170 pounds for about 3 weeks. Maybe even a little bit longer. And then eventually eat a little bit more. See how you look. You can't just jump on anything overnight. You have to slowly do it. That's men and women. Women, if you want to lean up, you're gonna have to eat more protein, sisters. I'm sorry to tell you, it's non-negotiable. The protein, once again, is not just about how you look; it's your hormones. Don't just think that you have to walk around always having to have a weight, a little tight little, what do you call those things? Waist trainer and all that. You don't have. That's good to start with, but you really just need to get some discipline. You need to work out, and I'm sorry to tell you. The reason I'm telling the sisters this is because their beauty is all they have, a lot of them. And they don't know that men start to look at the women who are now transitioning to the stage that they were once in. That's just the truth. Everybody looks good in jeans. Everybody looks good in jeans. But the reality is, if you don't take care of your skin, if you guys are putting on lotion and not putting on like natural things that's living like coconut oil, olive oil, tallow, right? I'm gonna give a shout out to Sister Kim Wiggins at KD Natural. She sells some of these type of things you can put on your skin. Okay, if not, you can make them yourself, whatever the case may be, if you can't afford them. But these are the oils you should be eating, and these are for your hormones, and these are the oils you can put on your body, and your skin will also absorb them that way. These things will help you from having loss of hair. Some hair loss is just genetics. Okay, some of it just is, and it's not nothing wrong with that. I mean, people had hair loss in the Bible, regardless of how good their genetics is. Some people, that's just genetics. Okay, some people, it's time for you to get the South Side fade. Like, Elder, I ain't lost no hair yet, but if I ever lose it here, guess what? Because we in the South, we get the South Side fade, and we still gonna be looking player made. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, or you can keep your halo joint, whatever you want to do. Listen, I still think you fly because I know life. Life comes with some things we lose. We lose protein. We lose muscle. We lose things like people. This things happen. So it's not something where it's to be so shocking. These are just this is just information to help to preserve. That's all. All right. So let's continue to let him speak really quick.
50s or your 60s.
I got 8 hours of sleep. It took me 3 days, but I got 8 hours.
Last year, I made a lot of videos explaining why drinking water is so important and how to improve the quality of your sleep.
So I'm going to tell you why a lot of your sleep is not good. Like he said, water, going to bed too late where you guys are getting insomnia. And I guess no one's going to call in, so it's all good. But if they want to, one more time, I'll put that number. But I hope y'all don't call in at the last minute. 979-398-5875. All right. So let me just say this last thing. People get insomnia because they're going to bed too late. A lot of times you go to bed after 12. Okay, depending on how your body is and your nutrition or whatever, because every person is different. If you suffer from insomnia, you're probably going to have to start going to bed a little earlier for your and I'm not going to lie to you. I got my days. My days is never the same, but a lot of times I try to make sure I go to bed before 12 if possible. But sometimes I find myself, I had a long day and I just have to unwind and relax. And that's just what I might stay up a little bit later, but it's not good. So I always try to go back to getting myself on a schedule. Insomnia is horrible. I haven't had it a lot. I have had it like once or twice, but it tell you it's not good. But it can also mess up your cortisol, stress levels, where it's harder for you to actually grow muscle now. So I just want to put that out there as well, so people know that is very, very important. That who you hang around, stop worrying about things you can't control, because the stress will also take away from you getting healthy. But one more thing about the sisters when it comes to, because I think I lost track on that. The type of things you put on your skin, you need to be really careful because a lot of things have cancer. They promote cancer for most of the beauty products that you're using, putting in your hair, putting on your eyes, putting on your skin. And you just like that thing smell good. Personally, for me, I don't wear any fragrance unless it's food grade essential oils, okay, that my wife prepares or I prepare, food grade, okay. Not saying that I never have used or won't use something that's like for, the little massage therapy ones, but I prefer food grade ones. And, because I know that when it comes to certain type of alcohols and certain type of substances that contain fragrances, well, a lot of them guys, they feed parasites. So that's why I just stopped wearing them last year, personally. And I'm not telling people what to do because I love the smell of some of this cologne and some of this perfume. But personally, for me, I had to choose longevity of life. And if you sell it or you do that, man, may God bless you in your business. I'm just saying, I just don't wear it anymore. It has to be like, I have to know that it's like the scripture says, the oils in the Bible as much as possible. So, but I try not to get too deep with things, but I definitely don't want to wear any fragrances. But for the sisters, And when I say fragrances, we're talking about artificial fragrances because they do a little bit more than people think. But I'm gonna still tell you, you smell good. I can't lie about that. I can't lie and say these things don't smell good. But to keep you from having like indentions and stuff in your leg as you get older, you guys are gonna have to work those legs out. Or your legs, your muscles won't cure your legs and your skin and take away some of those fat pockets, you know, that sisters probably don't like. Sisters don't like those little varicose veins and stuff. You got to get copper in you. Okay? You got to get some copper in you. Copper is one of the main things that's missing in most people. Magnesium, iodine, MSM. These things, like, they're non-negotiable. They are non-negotiable. This is not something like, man, I used to take that. What do you mean you used to take it? Why are you not taking it now? You're supposed to have this every day. This is how black people have to stop thinking, I used to take that. What the hell you mean you used to? You better keep taking it. You can never not take certain things. You can never not take iodine. I'm sorry to tell you. Whether you're getting it from me 1,000 miles away, you can never not take it. You can never not take these minerals or you will not operate correctly. You will have all types of issues with your body. You don't have enough copper in your body. You're going to have a little bit more, some creepy crawlers in your body. You're going to have a little less energy because your iron will not be distributed to your body properly because you lack copper. This is what happens. This is a fact. This is not some opinion. This is not something that's made up. Your thyroid function, your hormone function. Let me tell you, iodine is like why the book is called Iodine Crisis. It's for a reason. You can get some great resources from Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. Let me see, do I have anything with her on here just to give you a link here? I don't know if I have it here. Let's see. Just type in Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. I thought I had a link there, but I don't think so. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon has a lot of podcasts and talks about the same thing. Now, personally, I think she's on a little substance. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, please forgive me if I'm wrong, but you know, your voice is a little changed, but your books and your information is still true. But personally, I don't know you personally. No disrespect, but it looked like you on something from the doctor or whatever you get. And I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but you still have powerful information out there, and I definitely still listen to it myself. But I've been around a lot of bodybuilders, and I kind of can just tell. So, but hey, if it's working for you, God bless you. So, we just can't promote foreign substances, you understand, in our temples of God. So, but anyway, so Gabrielle Lyon, I ain't lying. Y'all is funny. Somebody say they know my little fitness name is I'm a lion, I ain't lying. So Gabrielle Lyon, I ain't lying. So no, what you say? So Gabrielle Lyon ain't lying. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but yes, sisters, you're gonna have to work out if you don't want to have the cauliflower legs and stuff like that and the little indentions in your legs, the fat pockets. The problem is you have to have higher protein, okay? And you know, obviously collagen and stuff helps with the skin. High vitamin C, high copper helps with the skin to produce collagen. You can also get it in beef broth, bone broth, things like that outside of collagen. If you have time to make it. If you don't, obviously you can get you some collagen powder or whatever the case may be. But it's really important that you guys start squatting, and I would squat all the way to the floor. Elder, how long is the shelf life normally on the iodine in the refrigerator? You're going to have to look on the package on that. Look on the iodine package on that one. But because I can't say the wrong thing on here. You know what I mean? But if you keep it in the right temperature, you know. That's all I'm saying. But you're supposed to be using it. So, but if you squat, I would try my best to start squatting very low to the floor, like they sit in that stance overseas. Very important for your hip flexors and stuff like that. Remember we talked about the hip flexors, and the mobility over 40. This is very important that you also do mobility exercises. Just Google mobility exercises. Soon one day I will come on here and do a pre-recorded broadcast actually in a private gym, showing you guys some basic exercises for people over 40 to do. The young guys, I mean, the show-off young guys who having fun out there, who still got everything going on, they should already have it together. But if they don't, maybe I'll teach them a little something too on there through experience. But so we will be live from a private gym in the near future to show people some basic things that they can do. But I really would try to push it in a safe way to try to really promote muscle, because if you tell your body you want to live, if you tell your body you want to be strong, if you feed it what it needs to have, like some of these 80-year-olds I show you guys, you'll just be pumping, you'll just be moving. It's just like an old vehicle. You keep the oil change, you keep it lubricated, you keep the ball joints lubed, you're going to be just fine. But don't listen to these fools who are on these bars wearing out their joints. There's one guy out there who I love him, and I love a lot of these guys on the bars, but he'll even tell you that people don't tell you about recovery. I forget the guy's name. He looks just like a Gadite too, with the long dreads. And he was talking recently, shockingly, about some of the crazy stuff he used to do on the bars and about the joints and how people, they just work out, so crazy, and they telling people to lock out and all this crazy stuff. You're like, listen, that's cool for contests, because a contest is not always, but if you're always locking out, the misconception is you won't be able to use your muscle the right way. You won't be able to get the fibers. That's total garbage. That's total garbage. As a matter of fact, most of those guys are not bigger than the guys who actually do half reps. The guys who do half reps are athletic. A lot of times they have more speed, because when they're pushing half reps, you're actually pushing speed. You're actually in an isometric position. So you're gaining strength, speed, hypertrophy, and endurance all at once. So there's not one way to do things. And I hate when sometimes people on the East Coast try to act like because they went up north, their one way is the right way. I'm sorry, that's just not true. Is there an advantage to doing full range of motion? Sometimes I do full range of motion, of course. But there's no thing to tell people that if they don't lock out, they're not going to gain the biggest chest. It's already been done. It's already been done. It's been done by me. It's been done by people. I did 50 pull-ups a day, half reps, and I got one of the biggest backs in the game. And guess what? Once you pump a muscle, it's like pumping up a tire. It inflates the whole muscle with blood. And by default, it ends up tearing the muscle fibers, and the muscle still grows. I work out with people who only do half reps, and they're bigger than these people who be talking about, I'm talking about with full triceps, and they don't even fully extend. And let me tell you, so when people say things they don't know, I can't stand it. I do both. I'm not one here to tell you, say, only do shorties. I think we should do both. I think there's a place and a time for everything. But one thing I think we should never be is cocky, arrogant, foolish, and stupid just because we want somebody to listen to us. Okay? And speaking things that we don't know. It's a waste of time. It's a desperate thing for attention. All right? So, but I still love what they're doing out there. I used to do it myself. All right? So, anyway. Now, brother, look. He say strength is in full length. No, brother, that's just not true. Strength is in both. That's what I'm saying. Strength is in both. This is scientific studies. Strength, speed, and power is in shorties as well. The person, I'm gonna give you an example. A person has to take it off of the bench, bring it all the way down to the chest. They do probably 50 shorties, for example. Shorties are actually harder to do than full reps a lot of times. When you tell people to do shorties from full reps, a lot of them can't do it. And then what does the person have to do to put it back on the bench? He has to do a full range of motion lift to put it back on the bench. If a person does shorty with squats, he had to go all the way to the ground and do shorties. What does he have to do when he's done with that set? He has to do full range of motion all the way back up after he have exhausted his muscles. That actually is even more stronger. He have exhausted his muscles at the bottom of the short position and has to bring the weight all the way back up. So he's still doing full range of motion shorties, and isometrics. You're actually doing all three at the same time. If you're doing shorties in the same position, it's a form of isometrics because you're in that one spot and you're pumping reps, and then you got to come back up. You just did all three at one time. You know what I'm saying? So don't listen to the people. We threw the book away a long time ago. Me and your Rock used to lift. Let me tell you, one time your Rock had me in the gym. You know what I mean? Doing your Rock. I ain't gonna give your name away of your exercise, but we was lifting a whole rack. He had me lifting a whole rack for 5 minutes. I'm talking about curling. And it was past the point of lifting weights. It became mental. For me to stop and for him to stop, it was like, nah, we both couldn't stop. He did the triceps straight for 5 minutes. And I'm not joking. 5 minutes. The whole rack. And then we had to switch right after that and go. Then I had to go to the triceps and he had to go to the biceps. I'm telling you some real life crazy stuff we used to do. And I know that most people mentally couldn't go through that. That was beyond growing muscle. So I know what the muscles can do. Half reps and full reps. Can you do the full? Can you do a full stack for 5 minutes without putting down? Do you know how on fire your muscles are gonna be? Let me tell you, boy, you got some crazy Israelites. Anyway, man, that's the show for tonight. Peace and blessings to everybody. You already know, if you want to join our Hebrew and Bible Academy, all you have to do is go to historytimes.org. I will put it back up here really quick for the people. Just as a reminder for those who probably were not here in the beginning of the lesson, historytimes.org. If you want to join, if you want to still enroll, I don't know if they're taking enrollments now because I know it started, but if they're taking late enrollments, you can just hit them up and see. Okay. And then we do need donations for our I Am Royal Academy. Okay. If you will, if you have it, it will be a blessing. Okay. I Am Royal Academy. All right. Gocc Royal. Let's help these children. Okay. Parents. You know what I mean? It would be a blessing, you know, if you could. You know what I mean as well, even though it's for free. But it's still a lot of money, more than we even thought. But it's still a blessing. So if you guys can donate, it will be a blessing, all right? So once again, for those who want to go to the supplement site, there you go, because people are asking me, keysupplements.com. That's what it is. Keysupplements.com. KIIY supplements.com. All right. So we got a lot of things on there, and we have lionshomestead.com. So those are the two sites. All right. There you go. If you want anything, you can get on there and get it. Peace and blessings. I am your host, Elder Ariaga Bar, and I will, if it be the Lord's will, see you next Tuesday. Keep in mind that Elder will be coming on A Gathering 144, our main channel, and Deacon Hazak comes back on GOCC Media on Thursday. Check out my brother from the East Coast in New York. Okay, Born of Levi Experience. My brother Shalom out there, and Elder Amar comes on sometimes on Patreon, and sometimes he does his Friday night Sabbaths on Friday. Sometimes he will transition to Rumble. Shalom, Elder Amar, my brother. Shalom, Elder Ricard. All the elders out there, Elder Dale, Elder Rock, all the elders, the bishops, the deacons, the officers, brothers and sisters. Blessings to you and your family, and I hope that after 40, you will start adding discipline to your life and taking things a little serious. As a matter of fact, even after this show, guess what I'm going to do? Just for you, I'm going to hit me some extra abs. I did me a full body workout yesterday. I'm going to hit me some abs, and I'm going to do another full body tomorrow. Okay? And let me give you a little tip if you guys want to do full body. If you're working legs, okay, and you're working upper body, that's one thing. But if you're working it kind of like you're still doing some bodybuilding movements where you are just isolating a muscle, Like if you're going to do biceps, triceps, shoulders, legs, only do 2 exercises each. 2 exercises on the legs, 2 exercises on the biceps, 2 exercises on the triceps, 2 exercises on the shoulders, 2 exercises on the abs. And when I say shoulders, you got to pick chest or shoulders, or do 1 exercise on chest and shoulders, because you're working your whole body as a unit and you will overwork your nervous system. So be very careful, because it can take you into over inflammation, too much cortisol, and you can actually get sick from this because it's too much recovery trying to go on. And if you don't eat protein, because when you're over 40, your goal is not trying to eat too many calories now. It's trying to make sure we preserve lean muscle so we can move very smoothly when we're walking around. Some of you are still a little discouraged, I'm sure, but don't be. That means you have no faith. That means you have no patience. So you rather be able to just do what you want to do, not complain, and cause an issue, and you don't have the patience to actually try to fix your own self. That just doesn't make any sense. You rather trust a doctor behind some scissors and a knife to cut you up. And guess what? Some people may have to do that. I don't know, but you would at least should have tried the natural way first. And I mean for a few years. You got to be willing to do it for a few years, because guess what? If you eat high protein, low carb diet and fats, I've seen so many people drop a lot of pounds and gain a lot of muscle and become very beautiful, not needing any skin surgery. The choice is yours. Peace and blessings. Shalom. HistoryTimes.org.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy.